How's it going, YouTube? It's Dead Guy Cardboard. Wanted to do a 2018 recap video where I will show off basically my best pickups from 2018. I've been doing this for the last couple years. I love doing these recap videos. It's just a really fun way to see how my collection has progressed and what I really focused on this year. And I also enjoy watching your guys' recap videos. So I decided to do this video and kind of bucket it into three different categories. I'll show my pre-war pickups, my post-war pickups, and my modern-day pickups. So I'll start off with the pre-war cards. I picked up this Tito 6 Johnny Kling Lionel Carter card. I collect all the backs for Johnny Kling, and this is really a big pickup. Made a whole video about this card in Lionel Carter. I highly recommend you check it out. It's basically a mini documentary that Mastro Auctions did several years ago talking about Lionel Carter and his collection. Lionel Carter was really an early pioneer in the hobby, and he was friends of Jefferson Burdick, and Jefferson Burdick was the guy that did all the designations for all these cards like Tito 6, you name it. He was just an integral part in the hobby, and Lionel Carter was a friend of his, so I was very happy to pick this card up. Then I also picked up this Tito 6 Napoleon Lajoie. This is an upgrade. I used to have a SGC 40, which is a 3, and this is a 4.5. This card has just really great eye appeal, pretty nice centering, really sharp registration, and a vibrant yellow background. If you collect Tito 6s, you know how hard it is to find cards with the yellow backgrounds and really great eye appeal. For example, the Addie Joss and the Walter Johnson portraits and this Lajoie card I think are pretty tough to find with nice vibrant color. And this has just, I think, really great eye appeal. You can see the complexion really well in his face. And it's pretty well centered. This is just a nice upgrade. I didn't pay too much for it because I was able to sell my VG3 for a lot more than I originally got it for, because a lot of the Tito 6 Hall of Famers have really increased in value over the last year or so. Another big Tito 6 pickup, I picked up this Tito 6 Tris Speaker rookie card. I've been waiting a long time to pick up a nice example of this card. This is another one of those cards that are tough to find centered with nice registration. This has just, I think, really bold blue background. The red is really sharp on his cap, and the Boston sign. Oftentimes the red's faded, I think, on these cards, and it's just a great looking card. And I also needed it for my 3000 Hit Club registry set. And then another big Tito 6 pickup, which I wasn't totally expecting to pick up this year, but I was happy that I did because I got it for a pretty good price. The legendary Red Ams. No, I'm just kidding. This is a big card because it's a blank back card. I made a whole video about this card, so I won't talk too much about it, but these blank back cards are factory scrap cards. So someone from the factory in New York either took this home or cut it up at the factory. They basically took a whole uncut sheet and cut it up themselves before this cigarette advertisement was printed on the back. It's just a really nice example of one. Oftentimes blank backs are discolored and they're kind of beat up. This looks like it came off the factory yesterday. And they're all authentic because they're all hand cut. But whoever cut this over 100 years ago did a nice job because it's well centered and just a great looking card. All right, now we're into what I believe is 1916. Some people think this is Roger Hornsby's rookie card. I say some because we're not totally sure when this came out. Some people believe it's 1916, some people believe it's 1917, maybe even 1919. His rookie card that most people are after are the 1917 Collins McCarthy card, but this did come out in 1916. This is his true rookie card. Either way, this is a very, very low pop card. It's a strip card. It's called the UNC Big Head strip card. They call it Big Head because all the players that picked on this card had big heads. And as you can see, they were all hand cuts. You can see like where the little cut indicator is. Whoever cut this card didn't do the greatest job, but I'm still happy to get this card. I've been looking for this card for a long time. He's one of the best hitters of all time. All right, now we're into the 30s. Still pre-war, at least pre-World War II. This is a very significant set because this is one of the last caramel card sets before 33 Goudey came out with their gum cards, and then of course Topps followed with their gum cards and Bowman, etc. This is also a very significant card for me because this is in the 3000 Hit Club PSA registry set. I'm not sure why they chose this card over the 33 Goudey card because this is a tough card to find. These are most likely distributed only in the East Coast and maybe possibly only in Boston. As you can see, these are actually made in Boston. Really nice looking card. Does have a crease, but I'm alright with it because these cards don't pop up too often. And I love how all the cards from the set had the player's nickname. And Paul Waner is in the 3000 Hit Club, and his nickname was Big Poison. His brother Lloyd Waner was Little Poison. Alright, so speaking of 33 Goudey, I upgraded my Mel Ott Goudey card. I had a SGC 40, which is a 3, and I upgraded to a PSA 5. I will admit the SGC card had a little better color. It was a little more vibrant. However, this has really nice corners, and it has pretty great eye appeal as well. And I picked this up during one of those eBay specials. I think Mel Ott's a very undervalued player. He had to compete basically with the popularity of Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, and Babe Ruth. But he's in the 500 home run club, and he was a great player. All right, now we're into the post-war vintage cards. So I picked up this 1955 Topps Harmon Killeby rookie. It's in a PSA 5, but I was thinking about getting it in a 6 or 7. But when this popped up, I had to get it because 55 Topps cards are tough to find centered, and a lot of these cards have kind of printing defects and roller marks and all kinds of things going on with them. This is a really nice example. So I had to snatch that card up. And Killebrew is in the 500 home run club. And then, this is a card I picked up a couple days ago. So I picked up this Frank Robinson PSA 5 a little over a year ago. But I upgraded it to this PSA 7. I wanted to upgrade this card because I'm from Cincinnati. My dad grew up in Cincinnati. He remembers collecting this very card. And I think he's just a very undervalued player. Frank Robinson, I believe, is the only player that won an MVP in both leagues. He's in the 500 home run club, and he almost made the 3000 hit club. This is a really nice 7. If you collect 57 Topps, you know how hard it is to find cards that are well centered with really sharp registration, and this definitely fits the bill. As you can see, this PSA 5 is pretty good too. I mean, they almost look identical. The 7 has slightly better corners, and you can see that his complexion's a little better. You can really see the shine in his face compared to the 5. Well, this is a nice 5 that I'll probably sell, but I'm happy to get this 7. I picked it up too because there was another eBay special. eBay's had a lot of specials to end the year. Alright, now we're into modern cards. I picked up this 86 Fleer Update Barry Bonds. I picked up the Fleer Update because the Topps card, although it's, I think, more iconic than this Fleer Update card, this Fleer Update card is in the PSA registry set, and the Topps card isn't. I'm not sure why they chose this card over the Topps card, but it might be because this card is a little more, less of these cards exist than the Topps card. It's a little more short printed than the Topps card. I think it's also harder to get in a PSA 10 because the Fleer Update cards have this blue border which you can ship pretty easily. But this is a card worth picking up because I think it's going to make the Hall of Fame soon. And this card is a little more short printed than the Topps card. Could be a card on people's radar. Then I picked up this card, which I surprisingly didn't have. The 87 Fleer Glossy Barry Larkin and a PSA 10. These Fleer Glossy cards and 10s are pretty tough. I think there's like a population of around 100. And these 87 Fleer Glossy cards are actually a little more short printed than the Topps Tiffany cards. So this makes it a more valuable card than his 87 Topps Tiffany card. Alright, now I'm going to show off a couple 90s insert cards. I won't make it too heavy 90s inserts, but stick in the order of years. This one's from 1996. This is a card I haven't showed yet. This is the Select Certified Mirror cards. These are very iconic cards from the 90s. This is the first time that really a company produced very short printed cards. The Mirror Red is out of 90, the Mirror Blue is out of 45, and the Mirror Gold is out of just 30. They're not serial numbered on the back, but they were stated print odds. And tough card to find. Very iconic card from the 90s, and they're definitely going up in value for all players. And I have yet to see a Mirror Gold Barry Larkin. That's how tough these cards are to get. And then I picked up this card. It's not a Barry Larkin, but he's not in this set, but I wanted to pick it up because it's an iconic set from the 90s. These cards came in these tin packs and very tough pulls. But it's the 1997 Donruss Preferred Precious Metals. Now these precious metal cards are actually made of actual metal. This is made out of 1 gram of fine gold. So this is not a refractor shine, this is a actual gold shine. You could also get cards that are made out of silver and platinum. The Rodriguez only came in a gold, and this is, I think, a population of just one PSA 10 of the Ivan Rodriguez. Even though there's kind of a corner ding, I don't know how this got a 10. But it's a nice looking card. Happy to pick it up. And then, get a glass of water. I picked up another big card I picked up this year for 90s inserts. This 1998 Bowman Chrome Golden Anniversary Refractor card. This card doesn't look like much. Has a little bit of shine to it, and has just this little gold signature. What makes this card so significant is it's out of just 5, which back then was a very low printed card. These are really top cards for anyone that collects cards in the 90s and they're a player collector. These cards are nearly impossible to find, and I was happy to pick one up because someone on Freedom Cardboard was listing a couple of these cards and they happen to have a Barry Larkin card. So I snatched it up. And I don't think I'll ever find another one again. And then this is the only football card I picked up this year. This is the 2001 Topps Chrome Chad Johnson Rookie Refractor. I don't know why they call it Rookie Refractors. All rookies were refractors from that year. But if you collect football cards, you know how iconic this set is, the 2001 Topps Chrome set. There's just so many key rookie cards from this set. Drew Brees is in here, LaDainian Tomlinson, Steve Smith, a bunch of others I can't really think of. And what also makes this set so iconic is how hard it is to get these cards in the PSA 10. There's only 3 Chad Johnsons in the PSA 10. I believe there's only 7 Drew Breeses in a PSA 10. And I think a couple months ago, a PSA 10 Drew Brees sold for almost 10 grand, I believe. I mean, it's crazy. Very, very, very tough to find these cards in the PSA 10. And there's a lot of people collecting this set. And so I was very happy to pick this card up. I'm a Bengals fan. Even though it's really pretty painful to watch the Bengals nowadays, although they just fired Marvin Lewis, which is a great sign. When I started dabbling and picking up some people that I think might make the 500 Home Run Club or 3,000 Hit Club, I made a whole video about that. Although I didn't pick up players I should have picked up that I mentioned in those videos, like Christian Yelich before he blew up and became the MVP. And you know, Mookie Betts before his cards really blew up. But I picked up a couple. Picked up this Adam Jones Upper Deck. This is his key rookie card. He doesn't have a Bowman Chrome auto. I don't know if he'll ever make the club, but it wasn't too expensive. I made a whole video about this card, so I won't talk too much about it, but this is Justin Upton, this card, his key rookie card. It's from 2004, though you couldn't redeem it till 2006 because that's when he was picked up by a major league team. I think he was like only 16 or 17 when this photo was taken. And these cards are out of just 125. However, it's believed that only about 90 were redeemed because no one really had heard of Justin Upton, and Andrew McCutchen was also in this autograph set. So most people decided to get the Bowman Chrome Gold refractor set instead. So a very short printed card, and I actually think Justin Upton has a pretty good chance of making one of the clubs. Either way, it's a very significant card in terms of the whole legality of picking up players before they're signed by teams. This is a mistake. I picked up a BGS 9 almost exactly a year ago today. I mentioned in my 2017 recap video that Jay Bruce has very similar stats as Reggie Jackson when Reggie Jackson was the same age. And I thought, Jay Bruce has a good chance of making the 500 home run club. However, he was injured most of the year. When he came back, he just played terribly. I upgraded this card to 9.5, but who knows? Maybe that's just kind of who he is. He has off seasons, he has on seasons, and maybe he has a chance of making that 500 home run club. Either way, he's a Reds player, and this is his best card. It's out of just 25. Then I also picked up a huge lot of these Bowman Chrome Starlin Castro cards from 2010. He has a 2009 Bowman Chrome card, but it's on autograph cards. This is his key rookie card. And actually, these are basically free because I was able to sell all the other cards and make a profit. This is the one out of 150, the blue refractor, and this is the base. And I still think this guy has a good chance of making the 3,000 hit club. You wouldn't think it, but he still puts up good numbers. And then I picked up this card. Now, I don't normally pick up pitcher cards, but I think this guy might be the next Clayton Kershaw. I know. That's saying a lot. But if you follow baseball prospects, a lot of people think highly of this guy. He used to be on the Red Sox, and he was traded to the White Sox, and the White Sox traded him for Chris Sale and a prospect. That's how highly regarded this guy is. He finally got called up last year. He played in just a couple games and did very well, but then he blew out his arm. Now he has to go through Tommy John surgery. But by the time he comes back, which will be like almost 2 years from now, he'll be the same age that Walker Buehler is now after Walker Buehler came back from Tommy John surgery. We know how good Walker Buehler is. But either way, if this guy doesn't pan out, these cards are pretty cheap because no one's really talking about Kopech anymore. But it might be worth picking up. Finally, I try to avoid picking up rookie cards, especially after they've only played for just one season. But this is just an extremely fun season to watch baseball and watch these rookies really break around. So I picked up this Ohtani, 2018 Topps Pitching. This is just his base card. Not a very valuable card. But these 2018 Topps and 2018 Topps Update cards are actually pretty hard to find in PSA 10s. I've opened a couple boxes, and a lot of these cards come dinged up. There's no white border. And then I picked up this 2018 Topps Update Juan Soto. This kid is in a rarefied air in terms of, I think there's only a handful of 19-year-olds that have put up the numbers he put up. And most of those players went on to have a Hall of Fame career. And then I picked up what I think these are the three best rookies from the 2018 class. I had to pick up Ronald Acuna's flagship Topps rookie card. This is his true Topps rookie card. It was from Series 2. It was short printed, much like the 2012 Topps Bryce Harper card. It was inserted at the last minute in Series 2. And it's believed to be only about one card per case, as well as Gleyber Torres. and that's a tough pull, one per case. And like I said, these cards are pretty actually tough to get in PSA 10s. I think there's only about 250 of these cards graded total, and about 150 are in PSA 10. So for a new card, brand new card, that's relatively hard to get in a PSA 10, I think. And this could be a very hot card in the future if Ronald Acuna keeps playing the way he's playing. And this is his true Topps card. The one where he has his bat out here, that's a factory set, and then he has a Topps update card as well. But this is his true Topps flagship rookie card. And I might make a whole video about this card and all the variations, because sometimes it's hard to tell the difference, because there's a sapphire card that looks like this. The Topps Chrome card does not look like this. I mean, they're all over the place, but this is a card to pick up. It's not cheap, but I think this card will definitely rise in value in the future. But yeah, I think these two guys especially will have pretty bright futures. We'll see how Ohtani does. I don't know why it's not going up right. And then finally, the biggest pickup of the year, I got engaged a couple weeks ago, a couple days before Christmas. So that's by far the biggest pickup of my life. I have a fiance, a future wife. Very excited about that. And then finally, if we're talking about goals for 2019, I'm gonna stop probably opening up hobby boxes. It's always a huge gamble, but I had fun this year because the rookie class was so strong. I don't know how the rookie class is going to be next year. I mean, Vladimir Guerrero is going to be good, but I don't think he's going to be as good of a player as Ronald Acuna or Juan Soto. But some cards I have my eye on are the E95 Honus Wagner card. Just a nice looking card. Wagner doesn't have too many cards, and because he wasn't in a lot of tobacco cards, he's in some caramel cards, and that's the E95 Wagner is also in the 3000 Hit Club PSA Registry set. It's just a nice looking card. Would love to pick that card up maybe. Would also like to pick up the 1939 Playball Ted Williams card. I've been eyeing that card for years. Very tough card to find centered. The photo is also faded a lot of the times. So if I can find a nice example of that card, I want to pick that card up, because that card to me is so undervalued. I mean, all vintage cards have really blown up in price the last couple of years, but I think that card's still very reasonable. I'm not sure why it's valued the way it is, because he's just such a great player. I also have my eye on the 1954 Hank Aaron rookie card. I think everyone does for 2019. That card I think is just going to keep going up. I also have my eye on maybe a 2006 Cobb Portrait Red background card. I've been saying that for the last couple of years, but you know, it's tough for me to pull a trigger on that card, because just two and a half years ago, that card in a PSA 3 was going for about $1,300 to $1,500 max, and that's a card that was well centered and no creases. Now that card's like almost $3,000. So it's one thing to have a card go from $500 to $1,000 or $50 to $100, but when it doubles in price to $3,000, I just don't know. There's a lot of Portrait Reds out there. I think the prices might cool down. I don't know how strong the economy will be next year, and so we'll see on that card. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the recap video, and I'm curious to see what your guys' collecting in 2018 look like. I've seen a couple of videos, and I love watching them. So I hope everyone has a great New Year's, and happy collecting.